When me I advocate for the military option, it no be because say I no want dialogue.
I have just listened to one very stupid audio from a very useless, very useless individual. An arrogant beast. A wicked devil.
Make I explain something for now. If there was a possibility for dialogue for stop Ambazonia terrorism, Countryman for being the first person for advocate for that dialogue.
Yes, as if there is even a good devil. A wicked devil who parades himself as a patriot, who lacks wisdom to handle situations in moments of crisis.
But my country people then, there is no such possibility. Question number one, who do you dialogue with?
Whose only job is to fuel the crisis, who claims that he is against incitement, yet he is busy inciting citizens against fellow citizens. And he claims that his mission is to end Ambazonia terrorism.
All the people, the way that they always talk about dialogue, negotiation, and all of those things, they never, ever one day answer that question. Who do you dialogue with? That's number one. Very simple. Question number two, they never ever articulate their plans for take away the guns from the hands of the terrorists, where they use those guns for take away our peace. People, the way they advocate for peace, they never ever articulate for we how they could take away the guns from the terrorists' their hands, where they use those guns for take away our peace. They never ever.
Where on earth have you ever seen where guns put an end to terrorism? Just show me one example. Where on earth? He claims that the only solution to put an end to what he refers to as Ambazonian terrorism is to kill all the Amba terrorists. I begin to wonder whether a woman actually became pregnant, carried this devil in her womb for 9 months, then went through labor and gave birth to this thing who calls himself a human being. And he actually said that and circulated it, and idiots, educated idiots, professors who are idiots, government officials who are idiots, are busily sharing such message. And to them, they are patriots. The same thing that
Battle with that one. Also, the people, the way they talk, say dialogue, no matter who they point a finger to, say make you go dialogue with this person, you go realize say that person it not get the authority, it not get the access, it not get the capability for take away the guns from the hands of the terrorists. Even the terrorists on the ground, they don't tell when I say nobody when I buy the guns give we. So why when I think someone can't take the guns away from we? When I say when I want to go dialogue with Ayuk Tabe never first get dialogue with Ayabacho, he never first get dialogue with Sako Ekome. Then Nayigo can't get dialogue and consensus with Cameroon authorities, and whatever consensus you get with Ayuk Tabe is null and void as far as.
I have just listened to one very stupid audio from a very useless, very, very, very useless individual, an arrogant beast, a wicked devil. Yes, as if they're receiving a good devil. A wicked devil who parades himself as a patriot, who lacks wisdom to handle situations in moments of crisis, whose only job is to fuel the crisis, who claims that he is against incitement, yet he is busy inciting citizens against fellow citizens. And he claims that his mission is to end Ambazonia terrorism. Where on earth have you ever seen where guns put an end?
Ayabacho be concerned. And these are all non-entities who do not speak or represent the aspirations of the whole Anglophone community. That is another problem where we not get them. So countryman, it not be against dialogue. We the already dialogue with the Amber terrorists on the ground. And now why that way they disarm every single day. They drop their guns, they come to our camp every single day because of the effective blacklegism, effective dialogue where we get them. Today, we get Okan Nasri Clovis, Bertus Atesong, Kawa Yannick, the plenty, hundreds of them for DDR centers. I just named now a few of them. All those ones, they be first being Amber. How when I think that they become, Republicans today, where they fight for one and indivisible Cameroon. Now, because of the power
to terrorism. Just show me one example. Where on earth? He claims that the only solution to put an end to what he refers to as Ambazonian terrorism is to kill all the Amber terrorists. I begin to wonder whether a woman actually became pregnant, carried this devil in her womb for 9 months, then went through labor and gave birth to this thing who calls himself a human being. And he actually said that and circulated it, and idiots, educated idiots, professors who are idiots, government officials who are idiots, are busily sharing such message. And to them, they are patriots. The same thing that incited violence, the same thing that instigated brutality and killings in Southwest and Northwest, is the same thing we want to use to end
of dialogue where the Cameroon government it already get them on the ground. That one are the effective dialogue where countryman a champion them, where countryman is the advocate for. For 2018, Amber terrorists they will get a very good propaganda network on social media where they will use them for radicalized Anglophone youth for carry guns go die for bush. Man, name just a few of them for una where una know themselves. Eric Tato, it be there for Facebook that time for 2018. Who's had them there today for 2022? We don't kick them off of social media. Tapang Ivo, Nick Santos, Yannick Sikot, that's Kama for Nigeria, NKONGHO. And then you get Kukuda Beans, Mark Barretta. There be plenty. You get even Sofoncha. These people, they be radicalized speaking.
What we started. Oh boy, wake up. Wake up. First of all, many years ago, in terms of decades, the Americans, the almighty America, boasted, they bragged, public, on the television, on the radio, on the newspaper, everywhere, that they have killed all the terrorists, the Talibans in Afghanistan. Today, Afghanistan is being governed, has been taken over by the same Talibans that the almighty Americans claim that they are done with. Where does these ones, where do they come from? The Talibans who are controlling America today, where do they come from? How on earth could an individual who have gone through primary school could think that they can succeed to kill all terrorists? How? What machine? What thermometer? What witchcraft do they use to know all the terrorists, all their locations, all their operations, and track them all and kill them all? Only God can do that. For an individual to claim that that is the cure, and that actually Cameroon government can do that. No, that is more than that's more than a nightmare. It's more than a nightmare. You're dreaming. Wake up from that sleep. Wake up. Hear me. To the extent of referring to Ambazonians as terrorists, you think by doing that you make yourself a Cameroonian patriot, right? You're stupid. Very, very stupid. You think you are more Cameroonian than by calling them terrorists? You think you are more of a Cameroonian than those of us who don't call them terrorists, right? My brother, wake up, okay? Wake up. The Prime Minister, Chief Dr. John Gute, has never, ever called them terrorists. Right? The President of the Republic, President Paul Biya, has never, ever called them terrorists. Where did you learn this from? Who gave you the authority to call them terrorists?
What? For Facebook, for send them for Bush, for go carry guns, can kill we. For 2022, we don't de-radicalize them using the same strategy where we use them today. And now why that way when I say for 2022, amber terrorists, they don't get no capability for recruit or for radicalize any more gullible Anglophone youths for carry guns go for Bush. Where it means say wait, every single day where we kill amber terrorists, we don't reduce their numbers for Bush and they no fit add another one. Where it means say it is only a matter of time before we wipe them all. And we don't even need for kill them all. We only need for kill about 70% of them. The rest of them, they go run. The rest of them, they go surrender. That is the deal.
What I heard from the Prime Minister, what I heard from ministers who have sense, ministers that they have kebon, sense in their brain, they refer to them as combatants. In Nigeria, there was an incident in Nigeria in 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. The Niger Delta agitation, they were agitating for secession because of marginalization. The president then, his name was Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, may he so rest in peace. He never referred to any of the Niger Delta militants as terrorists. As a result, he calmed down the situation. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria took over in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. Now, the Biafrans began to agitate. He referred to them as terrorists. That's so that they multiply like water. They are multiplying like water. Oh boy, wake up. Don't be surprised that these same people they refer to as terrorists, these same Biafrans they refer to as terrorists, don't be surprised that they are the ones behind a particular candidate who is making much wave as a presidential candidate in Nigeria. And tomorrow, Aso Rock will be occupied by a so-called sympathizer of terrorists. You made it happen. You foolish people don't have brain. You made it happen. You made it happen. You made it happen. For crying out loud.
The bunch of the way they did for Nigeria today, where they don't already run now because they fear Kumkum. They don't run because some person called them for dialogue with them. They run for save their lives. And the best thing we will get them to our advantage. Now say amber terrorists, they kill amber terrorists. So to a greater extent, the terrorists, the way they run out of that bush, they know they even run now from the Cameroon military. They run now from Ambazona terrorist atrocities them. And then you also get this fact, my country people then. When we talk, say, not only Kumkumisation, if we resolve Ambazona terrorism, we talk from experience, and we also talk from studying other conflicts the way they don't happen around the world. I will give you now examples then. For Nigeria,
you cannot end terrorism, if at all it is terrorism. You cannot end terrorism with guns. You cannot. You cannot. Nobody on earth can end terrorism with guns. That person is not born. You cannot. As a matter of fact, you cannot use violence to end violence. As a matter of fact, you can't. Nobody can do that. Nobody can do that. Ethiopia has the same situation like Cameroon. And the Prime Minister of Ethiopia is prescribing negotiation with the separatist armed carriers. Chad has almost the same situation. And recently, the Chadian transitional president had a peace accord with his people in Qatar. 40 years ago, Senegal have had fight with armed separatists in Senegal. And of recent in Guinea-Bissau, President Macky Sall had a peace accord with the armed separatists in Senegal. Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast have had the same situation in 2009, 2010, and the same.
When I began Biafra war, for 2.5 years, Nigerians, they kick themselves. When Biafra they decide, they say secessionism, what the Nigerian government do? Nigerian government launch war. It no go for go dialogue with the terrorists. It launch war. And for that war, for 2.5 years, they killed more than 1 million people. Where it means that they will kill people at the rate of 33,000 a month. More than 1,200 people they will kill them every single day. But that was a price Nigerian government is saying and say it was worth paying for keep Nigeria united. Okay, my country people then. And despite the fact say Biafra it will get support from France, from China, from Portugal, from Spain, from Czechoslovakia, West Germany, and a bunch of other countries then, Biafra is surrender. Now,
same method was applied. They had a peace agreement. And your own prescription is to kill. Since you've been killing, how far have you gone? And the idiot went far to say, the idiot, yes, he's an idiot. He went far to say that peace has returned to Libya since they have killed all the terrorists. I pity fools who listen to such monkey. Yes, I pity fools who listen to such monkey. They don't love our country. They are on contract to sink Cameroon, and they pretend to be patriots. That since they have killed all the terrorists. So you, when you listen to me, you believe so. They don't finish all terrorists of Libya. In your mind, in your dream, you believe so. Then in that case, the recent Libya elites meeting, what they would have had held in Menji. Why didn't they hold it in Menji? Why did they hold it in Fontem? They went and hold it in Buya. I thought we said all the terrorists are dead in Libya. They would have had their meeting in Menji or in Fontem, but they went to Buya. All right? The governor went there to install an SDU. His journalist was an armed military man. You understand? Who are we deceiving? And you say normalcy have returned? You say normalcy have returned. Who are we deceiving? Friends, the people who are preaching to you that those advocates
look at America, almighty America, where we not like to take lessons from. The United States, they also get their own secessionism. You know, we navigate the Unionist versus the Confederacy. For 4 years, they engaged in bloody civil war. Despite the fact that the secessionists, they will be supported by France and other countries. Them, the Unionists, they defeat them and they surrender. Now the power of Kumkumisation. Over 600,000 Americans, they kill them for that civil war. When more than 2% of the total population of the United States at that time, they kill them for the civil war. The American government, it be deemed that one, say now a cheap price to pay for keep their country united. Now make we look at the Anglophone zone, where the one can frighten when I say, oh, hey, the war. Which war?
Getting for dialogue are business people. They are the business people because they make money through arms. You know how much money goes through for arms? To have an armored car, do you know how much money is being paid? To buy an armored car, to buy one AK, to buy bullets. They make huge money. When the minister wants to go there, you know what it means for a military helicopter to go to one of these conflict zones? You know how much it costs? That is how they make their money. Plenty of millions, if not billions. Sometimes even trillions. Yes, sometimes even trillions. So that they can continue to fill their pockets with blood money. They're lying to you that those that want dialogue are the business people. You are a wicked devil. You will die a very bad death. Your children will never know peace. Your great-great-grandchildren will never have peace for having this level of wickedness towards the people of Southern Cameroons. To think that you love them by pretending to the population that you love them, of which you are the evil person destroying our community. First of all,
even when you look at the international assessments and their estimates of the casualties them, or the number of people they don't be killed by Amazonian terrorism, the estimates now about 5,000 people them in 5 years. No, don't get me wrong, even one casualty is one too many, but that is a cheap price to pay for keep Cameroon united. Even when you look at the Amber terrorists, their own estimates, they will tell you, say now about 40,000 people they don't kill them in the past 5 years. 40,000. For Biafra, they kill 1 million in 2.5 years. We now do the comparison, but the Nigerian government, Ebidimam, said that was a cheap price to pay for keep the country united. So when we talk, no, because they will not like dialogue, we already dialogue. All the Amber terrorists, they don't drop guns.
Without the military option, there would not be any war up to today. And without the military option, we'll not get to where we are today. Have this in your mind. Anyone preaching to you, hear me very well. My name is Success NKONGHO. Today is the 14th day of August 2022. Any devil telling you this. Paul said it in the epistle, say, even though I or an angel preaches to you any other gospel than that which we have preached to you, let the person be accursed. Accursed came from a Greek word anathema, which means you are doomed to eternal destruction. Then he said again in the next verse, say, even though I or an angel from heaven preaches to you any other gospel than that which we have preached to you, let the person be accursed. I, Success NKONGHO, I'm saying, anybody, be it an angel, be it a pope, be it a cardinal, be it someone who came from heaven this evening, comes and tells you that the military option is yielding result, and that is the best option to the crisis in Cameroon, other than dialogue, that person is accursed. If tomorrow I turn my back and begin to preach the military option, let me be doomed to eternal destruction. That is the height of wickedness. I don't love people. I don't love Cameroon. I don't love Southern Cameroon. These are devils. How can you want to stop hate through hate? How do you
want they don't run now because of effective dialogue and communication where we get them with them? Even the ones the way they don't come now when not them light the fire. When not them be toxic, so they get their own so-called self-defense groups. They carry guns for can't fight Cameroon government. Today, now the one can tell you, say you know if you use gun for resolve them. Or say they can't give them budget, give them hundreds of millions for them for can't solve the problem where them start them. Is that not a fantastic scam? These are professional thieves. Normal country people them. Like I talk, we don't already defeat them for social media. We don't convert a bunch of them to black legs and they can never go back the other way. And as a result of that, they don't feel recruit anymore. So it is only a matter of time until we kill all the terrorists where they still there for Bush. Peace, it will return automatically.
How do you want to stop bullet through bullet? How do you want to stop violence through violence? How? Which university teaches this kind of lesson? Which school we go? We go with school. Which school we go? Which school we go? I say, I ask you a practical question. If I slap you, you slap me back, fight go there, the answer is yes. But if I slap you, you not slap me back, fight go there, the answer is no. Nobody goes to a boxing ring waiting for the opponent. And when the opponent comes, he boxes the opponent runs away. And the person still remains in the ring. The reason we are still in the ring is because we are applying the wrong method. Once we allow the agitators to agitate, nobody is responding to kill, to brutalize, to torture. No, well, everybody go pack their luggage. Oh boy, forget this thing they are deceiving you. Forget this, and you are sharing it. One thing that baffles me is that some very stupid, hungry idiots who call themselves ex-combatants, they're also sharing such message. The question I will answer and say, how will be able if they be killing you for their life for they share this message today? So you say even get more for call your fellow, your former.
And one fantastic thing, where the Prime Minister, head of government, it talk time will be there live on Equinox TV. It talk for they plain and simple say, President Paul, I don't tell when I say, you know the fight war with the own kingdom. Now for confirm and for when I wait to countryman don't always tell when I say there is no war in Cameroon. Wait away it being armed bandits where they try to hold the state hostage for collect money. They are hungry people. That is it. So there is no war in Cameroon. Don't mind the warmongers and the scammers where they can't talk about say, oh, war the country, war the. These are thieves. There is no war in Cameroon. There is insecurity. The number of people the way they be killed in the whole of Cameroon, Boko Haram and Ambazona terrorism included, combined, it no reach 10% of the number of people the way they kill for Nigeria every single day, just ordinarily. But when I know yesterday so war in Nigeria, violence is there for Nigeria past Cameroon by far. But no man they can't tell when I say war there for Nigeria.
Colleagues as terrorists. Hungry not be fighting. You get mob for call your former colleagues. Just imagine you were a former prostitute. All right? They come preach for you. You repent. They preach for your friend, you not repent. Now you become an evangelist. Now, instead for you to go preach the gentle gospel where they preach for you, you repent. You go now for the Ashawo Center. You say, you be prostitute, you be bogdel, you be this. You go die, you go to fire. Now, gospel that. You are threatening them. Did they threaten you? Did they threaten you? Until you are even promising to go and kill them. My brother, stop this rubbish. These government officials who are allowing, if I be anything for Cameroon, this idiot, I don't arrest them. I don't be only here alone. There are ministers, I've even mentioned their name. I've mentioned the name of Minister Tanganji before, and I still mention it now. I have said in many of my articles that they should ask Minister Tanganji not to make any public statement concerning this crisis until the crisis is over, because whatever he says instigate people. And I'm saying it again. Not be all man get good talk for from up. Not be all man. Not be all man. That's how this thing start. Minister Tanganji, Isa Chiruma, Professor Gogobo, they went on television and instigated people. Some of you don't really have the story. I have it. They said things that send people to the streets. These people should stay quiet. May they seal their lips. May they chop their money quiet for their ministerial position. We don't hear for them. But they don't have what it takes to end this crisis. They only have what it takes to fuel it. And maybe because they are making huge profit from it. Please. Please.
Kidnapping for ransom. Now everyday business for Nigeria. But no man they can't tell when I say war day for Nigeria. Like I don't talk, all the people, the way they say, they've been proponents of dialogue for resolve Anglophone crisis and ambassador terrorism. We now ask them this one simple question. One, who do you dialogue with? And the person where you will name him, he get the monopoly, and I mean what's the word I'm looking for? The legitimacy for talk on behalf of all Anglophone Cameroonians. That is the question. And now may we also understand another thing. Like we talk about geopolitics as well. We talk and looking at the nation and looking at other things then, where did it happen around the world and around that area. You get the Bamileke where they don't already cause an uprising against the Cameroon state, the UPC, the Maquisards. We get the Northerners where they just watch for see how the Cameroon government handle ambassador terrorism. We get the Southerners where they also watch. Depending on how the Cameroon state handle ambassador terrorism, the Northerners, the Bamilekes, and the Southerners are on standby for take lessons from that resolution. Make a tell you now. For 2019, President Paul Biya decide for release hundreds of ambassador terrorists where they be incarcerated. He give them clemency and amnesty. He release them from prison. The very next day, the Northerners, they table their petition to the presidency. They give the presidency a list of their own brothers and sisters the way they be incarcerated in Kondengi. They tell the president, say, those Anglophones, they carry guns, they kill Cameroonians them, and you grant them clemency, you move them from prison. Now, our brothers, the way when I catch them, lock them for prison, the only thief na money, they never kill no man. But they're there for dungeons them for how many years now? They're rotten for day. When I move them. Them too, they want clemency. When I hear no, so there is a political calculation to every decision where the state is taken. And Cameroon cannot become a country where it will reward bad behavior. We suppose for the encourage good behavior, and we suppose for the discourage bad behavior. When you reward bad behavior, you will cause other people then for commit bad behavior. So, the Cameroon state authorities, they're not stupid. They look at other political calculations before they make a move. And at the same calculations, the way countryman they look at before I can't tell when are these things them. The number one existential threat to Cameroon peace and security right now, no be Anglophone crisis, no be ambassador terrorism. Ambassador terrorism, it come in a scale of number 4. Priority for Cameroon government right now. The top number 1 priority for Cameroon government, if we don't know, now succession. Now who would take over from President Paul Biya? That is the biggest problem where all politicians and all energy for Cameroon they focus on. Number 2 biggest problem we will get besides COVID-19, recession, economic issues, you get the Boko Haram issue in the far north. It be one.
This country belongs to all of us. My papa, my mommy come out of that country. Okay? Maybe this idiot way to talk, so we don't even know the ancestral root. My papa, my mommy come from that country. My papa don't serve that country as a uniform officer, in case you don't know. My papa don't serve that country as a uniform officer for that same country. So, I'm going to be very careful. All we, this country belong to we. We can't spoil country because we not get chop for chop. The authentic and durable solution to this crisis, they even go to the extent for say, when I want to end Anglophone crisis, it's not concerning. It's a fool. It's a fool. For your information, the Anglophone crisis gave birth to the Ambazonian whatever. Okay? Without the Anglophone crisis, we will not get, there's what we call cause and effect for life. Without the Anglophone crisis, this thing called Ambazonian, whatever, will not ever get them. It is the marginalization of the Anglophones that gave birth to the separatist movement, which you refer to as a terrorist. And by calling them terrorists does not make you more of a Cameroonian than any of us. You just say, we get sense, you not get sense. That's the difference. We pity our people, you not pity our people. You don't talk many times, so you don't even get nothing for loss. After all, you need to stay for Cameroon, you need to stay for Africa. You don't get nothing for loss, but I wonder what you find out for Cameroon every day. Where the best way they work, you find waiting for Cameroon every day. See, I don't even talk, I know ever talk about you. But when you are making statement that is pushing the crisis never to end, I will talk. Please, I will talk. Stop this rubbish. Nonsense.
100 times bigger than the Ambazona terrorism where we are the kiki on ourselves, and that one be localized in the Anglophone zone. And then you get other bigger issues them where Cameroon government get to resolve them before they even can they look at Anglophone crisis and Ambazona terrorism. When I don't decide for buy guns, give on our own picking them, go for bush, go to kill on ourselves. And now why that way? The Prime Minister be talking for Equinox TV say, make we not take gun to shoot ourselves for food. And now why that Prime Minister be tell when I say, true. Our people, them the Anglophone population, they don't get belay for this thing anymore. Now for tell when I say we don't succeed for communication, we don't succeed for the good fight against Ambazona terrorism to the extent where the people them, where they be support the nonsense, where they be advocate, they don't turn their backs against the terrorism. And then how then you go sit down for dialogue with the same terrorists where they are losing? Any person we can't tell when I say they advocate for dialogue and negotiation with the terrorists for resolve Ambazona terrorism or Anglophone crisis as they call them, that person go quote with examples then for countries where their secessionists they get a leverage. But in our situation, the Ambazona terrorists they don't get no leverage. Point number one, like I don't tell you about the secessionism way happen for America. They will get support from France, the Southerners, the Confederacy. I don't tell you about Biafra. They will get support from Germany, from Czechoslovakia, from Spain, from Portugal, from France, and China, and other countries them. But when I name me one country where it support Ambazona terrorism, when I name me one territory where the Amba terrorists they control them, they have no leverage. They don't get leverage for demand any concessions from the Cameroon government because they never hold nothing for Cameroon government hostage. They control no territory. They don't get the capability for cause any damage to Cameroon.
Until some idiots are even spreading the message. They should know who you are by now. They should know who you are. Nobody needs to even tell anybody. Anybody who finish primary school, complete primary school, will know who you be by now. They don't need for tell anybody who you be. If Ambazona enough, you ever kidnap you, who even know whether they ever kidnap you to true or not? If nobody ever kidnap you, if I ever talk. So you are talking out of agitation. Me, I'm talking out of passion. Two different people. You agitate for retaliate. Me, I be passionate for fix things. These are two different people. We not belong to the same camp. Stop inciting, instigating violence, causing the death, the destruction of our land, our people. Please. I just say the work for which military for which country. If to true the work, they go and concentrate down, do your work there.
Whether economically or anything else. Now just because a Paul Biya don't decide, say ain't no want for fight them. If President Paul Biya decide today say one end Ambazona terrorism, it go end them within a matter of 4 months. That is a fantastic fact. Not just because President Paul Biya don't talk say, ain't no the fight war with your own picking them. So we don't talk say Kumkumisation must continue. No matter because they will be against dialogue. We don't just tell when I say when be for dialogue. Una can't tell we who for dialogue with no make we see them. Then we go consider them. Name the people them. If President Paul Biya talk now say okay, he go send a minister for transport, a minister for communication, a minister for territorial administration, a minister for defense. For go dialogue now, a 5-man delegation that for go dialogue with the Anglophones or the Ambazona terrorists. Now, we name we own 5 people them where they go there to for that dialogue, and those 5 people them they go talk on behalf of all Anglophones, and all Anglophones they go accept whatever resolutions and whatever conclusions where it come out of that dialogue. We name the 5 people them are here, and then we go consider them. Today, and about 15 days for August 2022, my country people them as hello all.
not get nothing. If you are looking for ministerial position, when one thing is wrong, you can't apply for your ministerial position. Who don't tell you say Dialogue give money? Dialogue give money for who? Eh? And even if Dialogue give money, you know better make Dialogue give person money than make Blog give person money. Eh? Check them very well. Mediators, negotiators, they are more respected than warlords. Who for this world ever get war prize? It's a Nobel war prize. Is war a noble thing? But people get Nobel Peace Prize because they are peace evangelists. All lives matter. You must value the lives of people. You kill me, I kill you. It's no life. It's a life of animals. Even animals don't grow beyond that. Rubbish.